Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jewel, aka Mr. Pristine. Welcome to my channel, Pristine Tech. Back today to do another video, and today I want to talk a little bit about the Zte Zmaxx Pro. This phone, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute beast. Given its size and given what the phone packs as far as its internals and its capabilities, and also the price. Um, it's absolutely ridiculous. So let's get into it. So this phone is a 6-inch full HD LCD display, 1080p resolution by 1920 pixels. Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for protection, so you don't have to worry about, if you drop it a couple times. I mean, it may get a couple of nicks here and there, but the screen is pretty durable. It shouldn't crack on the first drop. I guess that depends on where you drop it from, but hopefully you're not dropping your phones. Hopefully you got them in screen protectors and you got them in cases like I do, which is why all my devices are pristine, like me. Um, we've got a 3400 milliamp hour battery that is non-removable, 1.5 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon 617 octa-core processor. The GPU is Adreno 405. And it's shipped with Android 6.0 Marshmallow, which is a good look. We've got 32 gigs of internal storage, 2 gigs of RAM, and we've got an expandable SD card slot up to 265 gigs. Just some of the features that I want to point out that this phone possesses. It's got a fingerprint reader. It's got USB Type-C, so the phone is definitely future-proof. It's got lovely camera quality front and back, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the video. And the sound quality of this particular phone is also a go, surprisingly, given the fact that the speaker is on the back. But we'll also talk a little bit about that a little later in this segment. But for now, let's take a look at the phone. I'm very much into the way things look cosmetically. It's what attracts us to things, right? We see something that looks attractive or looks appealing, and we're kind of drawn to it. And I feel like this phone is one of those devices. Like when you see it in the store, you're just like, wow, that's a pretty nice looking phone. And it's got the black face, which a lot of phones has, but this is a big black face. This phone is definitely hard to overlook. So again, it's a 6-inch screen, which is beautiful, by the way. And let's see here. On the front, we've got the speakers. We've got the 5 megapixel front-facing selfie cam. To the right of the phone, you'll see it's like a metal aluminum bezels that it's built with on the sides and the top and the back, and it's got like a silver or kind of like rose gold accent to it. You guys may not be able to see it from this particular angle, but it looks like there's some rose gold on this phone. It looks very nice. It's a very attractive looking device. But you'll see right here we've got our nano SIM tray, and that's also where you would put the expandable SD card. That's also where that slot is. At the top of the phone, we've got, at the top of the phone, we've got the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, microphone here. To the left of the phone, we got the volume markers up and down, and then we've also got the power button and the sleep button right here. Bottom of the phone, we've got USB Type-C connection for charging. Now, it doesn't have fast charging, but the phone definitely charges fast enough. It doesn't really need fast charging considering how fast this phone charges. If your phone's at 0, plug this bad boy in, and I'd say within 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes or so, your phone is right back up to 100% or pretty darn close to it. Okay. We've got a microphone right here. That seems to work really well. Calls are really clear. Whenever I've talked to people on it, they can hear me just fine, and I can hear them just as though I was talking on a landline. So that is a good look right there. Excellent call quality on this phone. Um, Now, the back of the phone, well, maybe you guys can see some of those rose gold accents right there. The back of the phone is, I don't know what to call this material right here, but it feels really good. If you take a look at it, you'll see that the phone is curved in the back. So even though it is a big phone, it's pretty comfortable, in the hand. And I've got small hands. I'm small in stature. I'm a small guy. I'm about 5'3", 5'4". But I like big screen phones because of the fact that my eyesight isn't the best, which is why I wear reading glasses. And a lot of times I don't like to keep my glasses with me. So the bigger the screen, the better. So that if I don't have my glasses with me, I don't have to squint or strain my eyes trying to look at the screen. So me personally, I'm in the big screen phones, and I've had a lot of big screen phones that they weren't the most comfortable in the hand. But this particular phone right here, this material, I'm not sure what it is, but it feels really good. It's not slippery. I'm able to get a really good grip on the phone. So you can see I can twirl it around, and it doesn't go anywhere. Fingerprint scanner right here on the back, which is a good look, and it works very well. We've got the ZTE branding right here, fingerprint scanner, LED flash, 13 megapixel rear facing camera. Now, right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the speaker, which is located on the back. And again, as I've mentioned in other videos, I don't understand why these phone companies love to put their speakers on the back, especially given the fact that when people are watching, when they're streaming media or YouTube or watching Netflix or Hulu or whatever you got, or if you're listening to some music, a lot of times people aren't holding their phone in their hands. Now I know that we're in a day and age now where you got a lot of Bluetooth devices and headphones, and that's cool. But there are some people out there that still like to just, they prefer not to wear those things. They like to sit their phone down on a surface and just listen to the sound quality that the phone has to offer. So it's very easy to get accustomed to sound quality like on the Alcatel Idol 4S, where you've got dual front-facing speakers on the back and the front. The ZTE Axon 7 has great speakers that sound really good. It's like the sound just comes right out at you. The Nexus 6P, even the Moto G Pure Edition was a really good phone, and it had dual front-facing speakers that sounded amazing. You're not getting that particular sound quality from this particular speaker, but I can't say that this speaker is lagging behind by much, considering the fact that it is on the back. I was very surprised by the sound quality of this speaker. The phone, it does come with a Dolby Digital feature, so you are able to go in and tweak the sound for the speaker. And it sounds really good. I mean, it's got some presets for video games. It's got presets for music, for movies. And so you can basically go in and customize the sound however you want it to sound based on what you're doing. So if you want your game to sound a certain way, you can customize that sound. If you're streaming YouTube videos and you want it to sound a certain way, you can customize that sound. Or if you're listening to music, you could also customize that sound. So that's a very nice look. I'm a very musical guy. I live on Spotify, and I'm always downloading on Spotify. And so the sound quality within a phone, to me, is a big deal. To me, it's up there with the fingerprint scanner and the camera. So those are just some things that, they have to be solid in order to keep my interest within a phone. And this phone definitely packs that, which is crazy given the price point of $99. So you're really, really getting a lot for $100 for this phone. Now, let's see. As far as the camera, now, just reading some reviews about this phone, there's always going to be faults and things that people find that they consider flaws or downfalls or weaknesses within the phone. I mean, and there's no perfect phone. I mean, every phone, regardless of how much you may like it, you can always find something about it that you may not like. But with this particular device, I really didn't find too much about the phone that I did not like. I mean, it's a very it's a very solid, well-rounded device. Now, when it comes to the camera, I know that some people, they slammed it on the camera. Um, for 99 bucks, you're getting, again, a 13 megapixel rear shooter with LED flash. You're getting phase detection, phase detection autofocus, geotagging, touch focus, face detection, HDR, and panorama. Um, and it also records in full HD 1080p at 30 frames per second, which isn't bad. Again, like I've mentioned in other videos, a lot of people, they go into the politics of the camera. Me, I'm not really all that camera savvy as far as, I know differences between megapixels, but, I've seen some people that are looking at excellent photos, my opinion, and they're like, oh, it looks washed out, and it's blurred, or there's a lot of noise. And again, I'm just more of a point and shoot kind of guy. When I take a picture, I look for clarity, I look for realistic color tone. And I get that with this phone, with both the front facing camera and the back camera, the rear facing camera. So the quality on this camera is solid. I don't have any pictures to show at the moment, but I'll do another video posting some pictures and doing some comparisons with some other phones. But if you do want to check out the video quality of this phone, my man Jay Williams did a review of this phone, and he did his full review recording from this phone. He had this phone set up on a tripod, and he recorded the whole review. So if you want to take a look at that, look up Jay Williams Zte Zmaxx Pro full review. And the video quality was excellent. So for anybody that has a question about the video quality or the pictures, the still shots, you might want to take a look at that video. And I'm sure that there's a lot of other ones out there that are doing like camera comparisons and so forth. But you can't go wrong with the camera, the rear and the front-facing selfie cam on this phone. I mean, it takes really, really good, natural-looking pictures. And so again, we've covered the speaker quality. Again, the speaker sounds really good, considering that it's on the back, even with it being on its back. I've had a lot of phones where the speaker's on the back, and if you're streaming footage or you're listening to music or you're waiting for that phone call or that text message, you can barely hear anything. But then when you pick the phone up, then you can hear everything. This phone doesn't give you that experience. And I think too, because of the fact that the phone is curved, maybe it's not completely sitting flat on a surface. And so maybe some of the sound from whatever it is that you're listening to is coming up off the surface, which enhances the sound quality as well. So yeah, it's a good experience. Again, it's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst, especially considering that the speaker is placed on the back. I would never, if I was a phone manufacturer, I would never place the speaker on the back. I mean, least of all, it would be on the bottom. But if I could, I would really try to bless my consumers with the dual front-facing speakers. I mean, that just really seems the way to go right now as far as sound quality coming from phones. And considering that these phones, we're in a day and age now where our phones are very important to us. I mean, we carry our lives on these phones. I mean, we work on these phones. We're on social media, our contact list, our personal information. We bank on these phones. We do so many things with these phones, and so you want to have a phone that gives you the best, well-rounded experience with just about everything. And I feel like I found that in this $99 device, which is unreal. I mean, this phone is really making a lot of noise right now in the mobile industry. Now, just real quick, let's kind of go over the phone, a little bit of performance. Fingerprint scanner. You see that? It's nice and snappy. Opens up in a flash. Let's see. Scrolling back and forth with apps. Seamless. Very sensitive to the touch. Zero lag whatsoever. So even though the processor isn't the best, compared to some of the high-end phones that have got the 820 processor with the 530 GPU, like the OnePlus 3 or the S7 or the S7 Edge or the HTC 10 or the LG G5 or the Axon 7, these phones, I mean, they're very, very snappy. And it's very easy to get used to something like that once you've been exposed to it. But again, don't count these little budget phones out, because they're making these phones high quality now. And I understand a lot of people, feel as though, well, you get what you pay for, and so you can't really expect much out of something that costs $100, which is why a lot of the other phones are so expensive, because they have all the top quality technology within them. We're in a day and age now, ladies and gentlemen, where that's not always necessarily the case. I mean, if you don't want to go and spend a bunch of money, there are definitely a lot of devices out there that are like half the price, if not way less than that, like this, that will give you a very, very solid all-around mobile experience. So again, shout out to ZTE for this phone. This phone is an absolute beast, and I mean that as far as the size. Again, it's a 6-inch phone. It's a big phone, and so if that's not what you prefer, then I wouldn't recommend this phone for you. But if you don't mind the size, you're really, really getting an excellent device for the price point. Now, just really quickly, again, this phone is exclusive to Metro PCS, which run off of the T-Mobile networks, and so they're connected with. They run off of they get their service for the T-Mobile cell towers, and you get speeds that are very comparable to T-Mobile. And I was actually able to test them because my main service provider is T-Mobile, and so I've got service with T-Mobile, AT&T, and just to get my hands on this phone, I started service with Metro, which is a seamless process. There's no credit checks. It's a prepaid service, but the only thing that they require when you start service with them is that you pay for your phone up front. And so on a month-to-month basis, you choose the plan that you want. I believe there's like 4 plans. I chose the unlimited talk, text, and data because I'm used to that, having that with T-Mobile. But that's only $60. Every month you pay $60, no tax, which is pretty awesome. And the service is very satisfactory. The service is actually pretty surprising. I've never been with a prepaid service before, and so I didn't really know what to expect. I just wanted to get my hands on this phone so that I could do the review, as I'm sure a lot of other people have. Metro PCS, their service is not bad at all. I would definitely recommend it to just about anyone that doesn't want to spend a bunch of money on a phone or a bunch of money on service, reliable service at that. So shout out to Metro PCS in that particular regard. Now, the phone is unlock capable. Now, Metro PCS's policy is if you get a phone with them, you have to be with them for 90 days. You have to be with them for 3 months in order for the phone to be unlocked. And that's their policy. And if you want to wait the 90 days, that's fine, because they do sell some really good devices. And the fact that you can have them unlocked after 90 days that's phenomenal. The phones actually come with an unlock app that are already pre-installed on the phone, and it knows when 3 months is up. So you can't do it within that 3 months. But now, there's ways to get around that. Shout out again to my man Jay Williams, who hooked me up with the link to access an unlock code for the phone. And so my phone is actually unlocked right now, and it's GSM unlocked. And so I've, any GSM carriers, AT&T, T-Mobile, Metro PCS, Cricket Wireless, and any of the other GSM networks that you can think of. Once this phone is unlocked, it will definitely work with each one of those SIM cards. So that's a good look as well. But yeah, so again, there's also like little perks. Like I ported one of my numbers from AT&T that I wasn't using over to Metro PCS, and there's instant discounts that you get. Now, I'm in Seattle, Washington, so I'm not sure if the instant discounts are the same everywhere else, but I know here, when I ported over my AT&T number, I got a $60 credit, which means that I only paid $30 for this phone. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, $30. So I paid my $30. I paid my $60 for the unlimited talk, text, and data plan for this month of August. And so I was out of the door $120. The phone is mine. I've got the service for a month. Like I said, with Metro PCS, their service is on a month-to-month basis. And so if you want to get the phone and you don't want to continue service, then when that next month rolls around, just don't pay the bill. Whenever you want to resume service, then just pay whatever your bill is. If it's the $60 unlimited plan, then you just pay $60 up front, and boom, your service is restored. So it's pretty cool how they do stuff over at Metro PCS. It was a good learning experience. But again, like I said, I mainly just wanted to pick this phone up because I know that it's a hot commodity right now, and it's exclusive to them. I believe the full retail price for this phone is $179.99, and I think you can order that on Amazon. I've even heard that maybe that you can walk into Walmart's. I believe that Walmart sells this phone for $199, but that's something that you would have to check into. I don't know the price points off the top of my head, but even still, I mean, that's still a great deal for this particular phone. This is a very premium feeling, high quality device for $99.99. So this phone, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute go. I would definitely recommend it to just about anybody that I knew of that was looking for a really good, reliable, do-it-all smartphone. So ladies and gentlemen, again, this is the Zte Zmaxx Pro. Go and check it out. If you're on the fence, you can check out my video. There's tons of other people that I know for a fact that have done videos on this phone. But again, to get the best experience, you would just need to get it in your hand and try it out. And I'm pretty confident when I say that most people that get their hands on this phone and test it out, they're going to love it. I can't imagine there's going to be too many people out there that aren't going to like this phone. Now, I understand that there's always somebody out there that finds fault in just about everything. And that's fine. I mean, everybody has different preferences, but this phone is an absolute beast, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, thank you very much for tuning in to the channel. And again, I want to send a shout out to all my subscribers, all the people that have watched my videos, that have liked my videos, that have shared my videos. I really, truly appreciate the love, ladies and gents. I'm just getting started with this thing not too long ago, and the feedback that I've been getting has been phenomenal. And so I wouldn't be where I am right now with this thing, or just as far as having the confidence to continue to do this without the support and the feedback that you guys provide me with. So again, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you like this video, please click on that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and tune in. I'm going to be making many more videos on a lot of the top name smartphones, flagship, budget, and I guess lower tier smartphones, if you want to call them that, or less inexpensive smartphones. But yeah, please stay tuned for those things. And in the meantime, stay blessed, stay safe, and definitely, and I mean definitely, stay pristine. Peace, y'all.